very good rushing offense. The Falcons are top 10 in rushing TDs, and they'll go up against the Eagles team that wants to keep the running game in check.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a number 1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now it's Ryan. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. Well, let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And he is the NFC reigning offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
And they get 14 yards there and a first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing to 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
First and goal, Foster. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks, right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. And this seemingly endless drive continues. On second down, here's Ryan. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. Now they've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a third and goal. From the gun, it's Ryan. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Third and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And Catanzero's kick is right through. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. D. Ford coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 13 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really. I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing now is Wentz. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in there, break on the football. Go make the play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can. And it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense, everybody wants a piece of that pie.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And they'll go Wentz to Blount here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
They'll run again with Blunt. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Play fake to Blunt. Now it's Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. D. Ford in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Now Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now Ryan on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And, you know, their previous possession, they had a
20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Again, here's Blunt. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. D. Ford in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he is knocked down from the side at the 47-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
On 3rd down, it's Ford. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Trotty. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
Wentz going to give this one to Blunt, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4" back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team, helps them start their comeback.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Able to get away and shedding through the tackle. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Ryan on second down. And a throw right sideline is complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player, not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner. Everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds. So the line judge, and it's going to bring up fourth down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. On third down, that's Ford. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll kick it away for the second time. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He hits Baldwin right side. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. Ten yards still left on second down. From the shotgun, Ryan. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing on first is Wentz. Runs through the contact. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
All right, so 1st down, 5 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. An Eagle 1st down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
Fresh set of downs here. Here's Blunt. Fighting through. And he's got some space. LeGarrette Blunt. Touchdown, Philadelphia. LeGarrette Blunt, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are back within a score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This one fielded at the 5. Spinning away. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Looking deep for Gabriel. He's got a man. Complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Shoves him away. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 3rd down, Ryan trying to lay one up deep. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now wins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On 3rd down. That's 4th, and he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to try and go deep again. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Vinnie Curry in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was 3rd and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the 1st down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Wentz to throw on second down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. They've really been able to Alshon Jeffrey, that catch a rare exception in this game.
And that's a feather in their cap because he's such a tone setter for his team on offense that they try and get him the ball early. And, of course,
and some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. Again, it's Wentz. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you at important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And some room to work. Space to run past the 20. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. From the red zone now, Wentz. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall right at the line of scrimmage. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
On 3rd down. That's 4th. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up a lot. And look out. I think he's going to go. The 40, the 30, the 20, 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Catanzaro now for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Play action. Now Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Foster on 2nd down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. They keep it in the hands of Foster. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come up in an offset eye. They'll look to run with Freeman. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Again, it'll be Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time."
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, "I want to see something executed well before we get out of here." And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. 23 yards on the play. On first down, Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. LeGarrette Blount was the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there are more people there to get him down.
Here's Wentz to throw. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Aguayo's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And here now come the Falcons. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case.